Good morning, class. Have you ever wanted to make great music, but always thought it's way too expensive and probably not likely? Well, today I'm here to convince you otherwise. Did you know that a study was done by Gallup magazine back in 2008 that stated 86% of Americans wish that they had played a musical instrument, and that 67% would still do the same to this day? Very interesting. The truth is, we all want to make great music, but sometimes think that it's way too expensive and just out of the question. Well, in the next few minutes, I will convince you on the inspiring and unknown truth about making great music in an affordable way from the comfort of your own home. And I feel this is important because I've been making music for 10 years and maybe know a thing or two on how to do it. So, first, I will be covering the headphones, such as these, very inexpensive. Next will be the DAW, or the software that you will be using in your computer. And lastly, another thing that's free and cheap, how to improve. That means information, practice, so on and so forth, but we will get to that later. First, let's talk about the headphones. So, according to Engadget magazine, on August 6, 2021, they stated that your setup can be absolutely easy, such as an iPhone, an iPad connected to GarageBand, which is native to a MacBook computer. Now, doesn't that just sound so inspiring already? You're saying that all I need is an iPhone and an iPad to start making great music? Well, that simply is the case. However, you will need something to monitor this, and that will be the headphones. So there are a few cheap options for headphones. Companies like Sennheiser, Beyerdynamic, and Sony offer headphones that are less than $200. According to a book called Mixing Audio, which was actually published in 2008 by an amazing artist and author named Roy Izaki, he stated that nowadays music making has been completely reshaped of how it was back in the 1980s. And that's important to note because we have much more technology, better software, and better equipment, and that includes the headphones. But in order to do these things, such as compression, EQ, leveling, and mixing, you will need a software. So, that brings me to my next point. Let's talk about the software, or the DAW. Now, a DAW, D-A-W, is a digital audio workstation. And there are many different kinds and many different types. But I will tell you the cheapest and most affordable and the best ones. First off, we have a company called Ableton. They are a German company and they make great products, but the best thing about it, they are affordable. They have an intro package that starts out at $70, easy to find, and anybody can use it, and it will help you tremendously. Another company is FL Studio. They also have a package less than $100, an intro version, that can help you get started today on a Mac or a PC. So it's completely feasible and not out of the question. In fact, according to a television interview on CBS Morning News with infamous artist Diplo, he stated that before working at Subway, he was spending all of his time working on the computer, on his DAW. And little would you know that over time he'd become a multi-millionaire DJ that we hear on the radio today. However, it wasn't always that way. He had to practice, learn the craft, understand the software, buy the software, and spend time. Which brings me to my next point, which is how to improve the quality of your music. According to Edward Smith's YouTube channel, on August 8th, 2020, he stated that most professional musicians are now working from home. Because this is partly because of the pandemic, it's also partly because it's much more easier and feasible. Technology now allows us to do this. But another element is still missing, and that is information, knowledge, practice. and one other element that I will get to. According to a interview with infamous artist Artie on Sonic Academy YouTube channel, he stated that it is very important to get feedback. And that means feedback from peers, feedback from friends and family, feedback from whoever you think is willing to listen to your music. Now, a word on feedback. If it's coming from friends and family, you need to kind of be conscientious, because oftentimes it might be a little overly positive, and that's not exactly what you're looking for when you're trying to improve your music. Next, when it comes to getting feedback from other producers, that's actually a really great thing, because it could open the doors to collaborations, to working together on a project, and making the experience all the more meaningful. Which brings me to my next point. In a radio interview with Shaquille O'Neal back in 2019 for Lollapalooza, he stated that when he first started as a DJ, as an artist, he didn't think he would be where he's at today. However, he always knew that he does it because he loves the art. And I want to make this a big point, because the musical journey is very difficult and it's a very rough journey. And that includes improving the sound or improving the quality of your music. So you have to have your heart in the right place, and that is a passion or a drive. But nonetheless, a very meaningful experience. So, let's see. We talked about the headphones. I showed you the DAW and how to obtain one for very cheaply. And lastly, the methods for improving. That includes feedback and resources. So, next time you hear about wanting to make great music and think, whoa, is that going to be even possible? I need an expensive studio, I need expensive equipment, and so on and so forth. You might want to think that twice. Thank you so much for listening to my speech. Have a great day.